two. Now to one. It's Gaines. Yes!
This ball is crushed.
MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to change the game, mainframe, all y'all programmable. Coaching on tracks, balling like a paper like Phil. I'm obvious if real, my rhymes convict and heal.
Welcome to the Faithful Fan Show. I'm your host, Tony Cook, and I'm here today with the biggest Charger fan in the universe / Padres fan / UFC combat sports insider, all that. Now, JD, we got a big week. We got a big day today. Everyone, the Cowboys about to play the Chargers in like 2-3 hours. So
we did 3 hours in 20 minutes.
As we're recording now, y'all might watch this while the Cowboy game is going. I hope y'all get to it right before. But before we get to football, how did you like the fight festivities this weekend? Did you pay attention to like the Logan Paul versus Dennis I know it's a disgrace to fighting and all that.
It was wild, man. Like it was wild, but like at this point, what are we gonna say? Like I cheered Nate Diaz on when he got Jake in a guillotine. So how can I see Dennis do it and be like, man, that's out of control? They doing it's a circus. I told you it's a circus. So we bought tickets to the circus. I didn't pay for that fight, but you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at that fight. I gotta see the numbers because I saw Canelo's numbers wasn't that big for the fight with
That's what I'm saying. Like I can't do nothing but give kudos to the Paul brothers because they bring in more eyes to combat sports than any other fighter, and
people forget that fighting is known as a spectator sport. So however you sell the fight, it doesn't matter who it is. If you sell the fight, you sell the fight. It's about intrigue. So I got to give the Paul brothers, what is that? The KSI, all those dudes. Tommy Fury, go fight real boxers. Go back to real boxing.
Okay, but let me ask you about that fight because a lot of people were saying, I watched the highlights. I didn't watch the fight. But a lot of people said KSI probably should have won. I don't know. What I saw, KSI, nobody's going to give him that fight the way he was out there without his hands up.
He kept clinching, and if you're clinching and the numbers aren't adding up in your favor, they're not going to look at like, oh, he landed a hard shot. It's going to end up in Tommy ate him and kept going forward. So if you doesn't even have like, what's it called, like a reaction to it at all, if you get hit and he doesn't react, it's not going to give you points when he landed 4 more shots, even if they don't, have that kind of effect. So I get it. I had Tommy winning that too. I watched the whole thing. Like, you know me, I watch fights like without even thinking about it. I had the UFC and all that stuff going at the same time. And during the Tommy fight, I'm like, this is a real fight, but it's not a real fight because Tommy actually, you could tell there's a clock in your head when you actually fight, when you count. So if a dude lands a shot on you, I got to get 2 right back.
Exactly.
So dude hits you, and you got to throw as much as you can to get your number back up. And Tommy's good at that. He's good at getting his get back. He keeps a clock in his head. KSI's out there just fighting. Yeah. And it's obvious. It's obvious. You know what I mean? He's just trying to survive.
And the reps are looking at it, and by the end of the fight, you could tell KSI was gassed.
Super gassed.
Tommy wasn't breathing hard. Tommy, like you said, kept pushing forward. Refs look at that too. Refs are like, this dude is more ready. Without all the theatrics and all that, Tommy looked like the more polished fighter.
I can't even tell you actually what judges look at because scorecards have been crazy over the last couple of years. You know what I mean? But I do know that the things they do look for is damage, control. Control is who's always going forward, who's always pushing forward. Absolutely. And it was always Tommy. You know what I mean? KSI, whatever his name is, came in, tried to hit him and stuff, but then he instantly backed off, and Tommy was the one hunting. So looking at landing more strikes, throwing more strikes, being the one that was always chasing them, it doesn't matter if he got hit hard a couple times. He was the one putting in more work. So no, you ain't gonna get no argument from me. You know what I mean? The Logan Paul fight, that was stupid. I ain't got.
Yeah, we don't got to talk about it. But I, being that you are all things combat sports, I had to get your take on it because it's it just happened.
No, we good. I'm ready for Francis versus other Fury.
We'll have a show for that because that's.
You better believe it. You better believe it. You better have me on
because I want to know your take on that.
Francis, my dog.
But we got to get to this football. Football. Big news. Austin Ekeler has returned for the Chargers. I hate it. Why did everyone comes back for the Cowboys? What's going on, man? No, but he had a bye week though. He was going to come back regardless after that bye week.
Well, in typical Charger fashion, we start out the season with a rash of long list of injuries for some reason. And if you go back to the first game of the season, I didn't recognize our offense against Miami, but we were doing pretty damn good until that very last drive, and then it just fell apart. But if you look at the Miami game, and it was back and forth the whole time with the offenses, and the defenses were getting lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
But Austin Ekeler was the top rusher for week 1. Dude had almost like 160 something yards from the ground. Like, bro, he was Kellen's offense. My first look at it was, we're running the hell out of the ball right now because he has Ekeler, and he could, and instead of just doing the little what they were doing last year with Lombardi was, it was always screen passes. And people were like, oh, Justin Herbert is the check down king. He's like, no, our offensive line is in pieces, so that we put him in the shotgun, toss it to Ekeler, that's like a run. Yep. That's literally what the game plan was. We were working with the injuries, so that's what's happening. Kellen seems to be like, I don't care who's out, what's happening, we're going to find a way to do what we want to do, and I like that about him. You know what I mean? Nope. And he can't control us going for it on fourth down our own side. That's a problem that Stanley has. I don't get it. I want to see these analytics. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, so that's not Kellen's call. That's head coach right there.
Yeah, that's
the final call on that. Yeah.
I'll be wanting him to get fired, and then we win. I'm like, well, we still got a chance, but it's like, you know, I told you like 2 years ago, I'm tired of it already. I don't want to go over a fourth down. I'd rather us punt it. So, yeah, so I like how Kellen's doing it. I like how he uses Austin Ekeler. And if he's using him how he was using them, expect Ekeler to have a big game, because everybody's looking at Herbert and Dak, and can Dak keep up with Herbert? That's been the thing that's going on right now. Will he do bad in prime time? And I'm like, I feel like we're looking at the wrong stuff, because this could end up being a run game type of, because you're running back Pollard. Yeah. He hasn't had the bigger games, but he's still running hard, man. It's just not happening.
He just ran up against a buzzsaw last week, bro. Like,
yeah, and he's doing better than Zeke. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Let's just throw it out there. The Patriots doing horrible.
Now, JD, so what I'm hearing is that you're pretty happy with the Chargers offense and how Kellen Moore is running. Like, do you like it as opposed to last year's
well, I don't know if it's the depth that we have now that we've addressed from last season from all the injuries. It's just when those injuries happened before, we fell off the cliff. Now these injuries are happening, and it's kind of like part of our DNA. Like, let's just go. Like Mike Williams out for the whole season, week 1. Ekeler out for Bosa was out. Derwin James out. Like, bro, that's for the posters.
But think about it. That's something when Kellen Moore was with the Cowboys, he's actually strong at, he doesn't rely on one player. He had Dak spreading the field out, and you're hitting whoever's open. It don't matter. Whoever the defense is giving us, that's who we're going to. And I feel like that's Kellen's specialty. And that might be what helps you guys, because you've had injury problems with like Keenan Allen lately. Yes. In the last couple years.
Yes, no, he's just older. He's just usually like tic-tacky type of stuff, just getting nicked and stuff. But I will say Kellen has had his play calling has made it so that Palmer has emerged, our wide receiver Palmer. Be looking out for him, because it used to be Guyton. Guyton was that guy that came in when one of the receivers went down. He got a season-ending injury last year also. And, you know, I think he's still hurt right now. He hasn't come back. He might be coming back.
Fast dude, right? He's the fast dude.
He's the fast dude that you always be catching, like, super fast route. He gets lost in the sauce, and it's hard to keep up with him. You forget how fast he is. He gets behind the defense. He's usually the one that stretches out the field. But he hasn't been on the field in so long, I can't even remember what he looks like. Now, you see Palmer, his route running is on Keenan Allen type. I mean, he must be reading from his book. He must have Keenan Allen's book, because people, when I say this, people don't want to listen to me. I'm like, Keenan Allen, if he's not in your top 3 of best route runners in the NFL, you're stupid. He should be 1, but I will excuse if you have him in the top 3, because he's not breakaway fast. But the way he runs routes,
always open. He
gets so much separation. His routes are so crisp. He ends up being just naked out there, and you know Justin Herbert could throw a rocket through him. So it's the best combination. Now I'm seeing Palmer, even though he's a little shorter, he's still catching those long balls like Mike Williams was. It's just Justin has to throw it different. So it worries me because Justin's throwing it lower, so you guys ball hawks. So I'm worried about the interceptions. I'm going to be worried about that, because it seems like he's adjusted himself to throwing to, like Mike Williams, fucking throw it up there. You know what I mean? Like 6'6". You know what I mean? Just throw it up there. He's going to get it. But with this team, how it's built right now, we got a lot smaller. And the rookie hasn't done much. You know what I mean? The one
I was going to ask you next. Johnston is his name? Johnston?
Yeah. They said he has a problem with drops, and he had a problem with drops at TCU. He's really good with yak yards and stuff, but I'm not really worried about it because you know who also had a really bad first year? Mike Williams. Everybody's like, oh, we wasted our pick on him. He's not the receiver we thought he was going to be. It takes time. It's the NFL. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to kill him for that yet. But it'd be nice if he could get in there and do some stuff like a lot of the rookies we see out here getting it done. So, yeah, as far as the offense goes, Austin Ekeler coming back, Palmer coming back. Yeah, I'm feeling it right now, man. I feel good about the team, but I also know we are the Chargers, so it's not exactly our skill level or the players that lets us down in those game decisions. And right now, it's been coaching that's let us down. So I don't know, man. I really don't know what to expect from this game, but I know that we will be competitive no matter what. That's the least we can do now.
And I'm about to ask you your predictions in a second, but before we get to that, I'm happy you're good with Kellen Moore because we showed, I think a couple players on our squad miss him. Now, I know what Mike McCarthy's trying to do out there. Dak had a lot of interceptions last year, so he's taking it back to rookie Dak. He reeled him in. I told a lot of people he was going to do this. It's very
simplified.
He's literally making quick reads. He's not making Dak read through a lot and throwing it, even though when we get behind, Dak's still going to throw into double coverage. I don't know. But he's trying to make it simple as possible, short routes, but some players are not benefiting from it. Like CeeDee Lamb is unhappy right now.
I was watching something where they were talking about CeeDee Lamb, and they were saying the way that they're using him right now is damn near criminal because you don't use a first round draft pick and then just throw him, just the quick out and then make in room with no blockers and just go tell him to make a play. Yep. Like they're not setting him up for success right now. And that's why I saw a lot of the pros say.
So that's why he's unhappy. And we got another player that we acquired over the offseason. Brandon Cooks doesn't even have 100 yards receiving. Totally.
I forgot he was on the team.
He doesn't get the ball because all they're using him for is clear out. They have him just going deep, but we ain't looking at him because Mike McCarthy, we ain't throwing it deep. I don't think we're throwing anything deep, dude. Everything's like 10, 15 yards, nothing over 20 yards, and it's hurting. It's hurting right now, especially against a team like the 49ers, bend don't break defense. Okay, on the front of us, go ahead. Like, I don't know. Against other teams, when we let our defense win the game for us and we can play with lead, it works. But it's not going to work if we get behind. So I'm worried about these Chargers because y'all are explosive.
I feel it's going to be a good game. Yeah. You guys get up. The Cowboys, I give them credit. They do something that I hate with my team a lot, is that they play to the level of their team. So even if they're playing a good team, it's going to be a close game. And then they're playing a really, really bad team. You're like, how the hell is this team still in it when this is the team that scored 45 points last week? You know what I mean? The team that stomped somebody out. They have, and there's a lot of teams like that, like Miami, like they'll go out there, score 70 and then can't even, get down the field against, I can't remember who they lost to. But with you guys, the talent is all there. I just think it has to be, y'all got to have success early. So I'm hoping that we jump on y'all early because we have a problem closing games out. So if we can jump on y'all early, y'all aren't known for getting good. We both have the same problem in the second half, in the fourth quarter when it gets close. So I'd rather us be up and y'all have to make it than us having to be the one that gets it.
In your first point, how you said we both going to try to establish the run. We going to try to get Pollard going, and Lord knows y'all going to try to get Ekeler going. Whoever has a more successful run game in the beginning might end up on top. We'll see. It'll be a good game. Cowboys.
I will say this though. How's the O-line looking? Because I needed to ask you about that. It's a very serious question. I don't know if you heard last time Khalil Mack was on the field, he got 6 sacks in the game.
Khalil. Okay. And y'all got Joey on the other Bosa brother.
And he's coming back today. He's been hurt, so he's coming back today.
Our offensive line is okay. Like, we're not the O-line of the past. Cowboys run right through you. 3 Pro Bowlers. It's not that no more. Our Pro Bowlers are now old. The only one that's still good is Zach Martin, really.
He's a beast.
Our guard. He's still he's a premier O-lineman in the league. But Tyron Smith is old. Our Pro Bowl center retired, Travis Frederick, 2 years ago. So we're working with a new guy. He's okay, but his ankles is weak. He be coming out the game. We be having to throw a random center. We be having to throw a guard in to play center. It gets messy.
That's going to be problematic with the way Khalil's playing right now. I don't know if it was people are saying like he didn't have no sacks until then. He went from 0 sacks to the sack, tied for the sack lead in one game. But he was playing the Raiders. That was his team that let him go and traded him when he didn't want to be traded.
So he was motivated. He was motivated.
So the motivation factor. I don't know if that's going to be the same thing. And honestly, I feel like the thing that it's weird because Stanley's defense sometimes just we have such good players, but it doesn't amount to what it's supposed to happen. So when Bosa and Khalil Mack are on the field at the same time, it kind of seems like we get less pressure. You know what I mean? Which is weird. It's like you got to pick one, and then one has to go get it. But I think during this time, we got to see some of the rookies, some of the new players that we have, and a couple of guys stepped up. There's a Samoan cat. I can't say his name. I'll mess it up. Tualuli. But
I know what you're talking about. I know who you're talking
about. He's
a
rusher, and he's been getting it in. He was the one that took Bosa's spot for while he's been out, and he's been balling. And they said they're going to use packages to keep him in because of how he's doing. So if he's coming up the middle, and you got Bosa on this side, and you got Mack on this side, it might be some problems and must throw downs because Khalil Mack does weird stuff, bro. Like one of the sacks, it was a sack because he pushed the offensive lineman into the quarterback, and the quarterback got knocked over.
Khalil Mack got drafted because he's a freak, bro.
Bro. That's a 300 and something pound man, and he just said, "I can't get to the quarterback, so I'm gonna push you into the quarterback. Like I'm just gonna go through you, bro." Then that's wild. That's a wild decision. Like I don't know if you seen you watched the Kelsey podcast?
Yep.
Bro, when they were talking about Khalil Mack, he was like, Khalil Mack had 6 sacks. And then Travis starts busting up laughing. And Jason's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
like, is someone going to chip
That was
him?
what I was going to ask you when you said it. That don't even sound real. How you get 6 sacks in one game, dog? That's
Don't watch the highlights. And bro was just on a like I told you, it was weird because he's always playing hard, but it just seems like for certain, he gets very streaky. So if one of your guys, like you said, my ankle hurts, I'm not feeling good, this and that. He's a dog. He's older, but when he sees someone else's weakness, he starts to go at it. You know what I mean?
He's a shark in the water, dog.
If you got an offensive lineman that's a dog and young, he might have some problems during the day. But if you got any kind of sign of weakness, he runs you over one time, it doesn't go backwards. It just keeps getting worse for you. It either stays there or it gets worse. We're a momentum type of defense.
Well, let's hope the gas tank is empty. I hope he used up all that gasolina last.
We come off a bye week.
You're right. No, well rested. Y'all are well rested. But the Cowboys, I hope we can contain Khalil Mack because this is a must-win game for the Cowboys. I hate to say it against my buddy, my Charger faithful fan, but it is because of the way the NFC is looking. Like the Niners, luckily the NFL is a strange lady, and the Niners lose yesterday, and the Eagles
lost.
And if they'd have won, this is a game that we no doubt have to win because we can't be 3-3, and there's 2 undefeated teams in the NFC.
In the same division. But feeling your pain, I hope you can understand my pain. We're in the same division with the Chiefs. Like we ain't won a division since like LT. So
but y'all are right there though. Like
that's but we're 3-2 because remember a lot of people haven't had we're 2-2. So a lot of people haven't had their bye weekend. We had a very early bye week in week 4. So if we lose this game, we're in an awkward position where we could be an extra game behind just because we haven't played the extra game.
This is a good game. It's a must win.
Stephen A. Smith gonna be there hating on y'all too. He said he's gonna be in the crowd, bro. He gonna be in there with all the Cowboy fans, man. It's gonna bring out the stars. You already know.
He's secretly Cowboy fans make that dude a lot of money, bro.
They do.
Half the people watch. I watch when the Cowboys lose just to see what this nigga is about to say about my team.
Exactly.
So I can cuss at the TV. So I can cuss at the TV, and Rachel be like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "Stephen A. is a hater."
And then when the Cowboys win real big, I go to see what Skip says. I want to see him go wild and say crazy shit like Dak's going for 5,000. Like, come on, Skip. Come on, Skip.
Come on, Skip.
Come on, Skip. Skip.
Hey, you have to admit. ESPN and First Take is on fire with Shannon.
All these shows are good.
And the Pat McAfee show, that's good too. But I do miss Shannon calling Skip.
It'd be more fun if they had contracts that only lasted like 2 years and they just switched all the time. I would love it if the audiences just kept switching and it was like NBA players, like go over here to NBC or you know what I mean, ESPN, undisputed. I would love that because I love all these conversations and mixing them up. That's how it's supposed to be. You want to hear different, everybody but Mad Dog. That dude's weird.
Hey, who?
Mad Dog, whoever his name is, the old dude.
Oh yeah, he
talks good about the Chargers, but I'm still like, I don't know if I want him on our side. Dude's a little weird, man. Like, I can handle Skip. I don't know about him. He be yelling at people. But I had a question for you. Ask me. Are the Cowboys playing the 49ers this week or the Chargers? Because all the media, I have not heard what it would have made. That's why I feel good about this game also, because it would have put a little bit of fear in my heart, like the regular Monday night fear. If I heard one major Cowboy player going, we can't worry about that. We just got to focus on the Chargers Monday night. I haven't heard that yet. Everybody's talking about the embarrassing loss to the 49ers.
And that's good for the Chargers. That's good for y'all because y'all kind of flew under the radar. Y'all are almost playing like you got nothing to lose, really, because Cowboys are so wrapped up in last week's loss that they ain't even worried about what could happen this week if they don't.
This is a must-win for both teams, but I feel like spiritually and socially, it's a bigger win for the Cowboys to win because if we lose,
more pressure.
What are the Raiders doing? What are the Broncos doing? We're still the number 2 team trying to get to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have looked very human lately on offense. Yeah. Human. But they know how to win. That's the thing.
The one thing I will say about that, JD, is the Chiefs kind of always been doing this like for the past couple years. Since their first Super Bowl, they kind of wobble in and then they get hot. You know what I'm saying? As long as they make the playoffs, Mahomes.
No, they're going to make the playoffs. I'm just saying that this is the kind of team that got smoked by Tom Brady in the Super Bowl because they didn't address them things all year, which makes me scared because they still got time to make moves. So I'm like, what are they going to do?
What they don't have a Tyreek Hill, and their wide receiver core looks super suspect. Like Travis Kelce had to do unhuman things last week for them to win. Like, Mahomes can only be Mahomes for so long, but when you only throw into Kadarius Toney as your best receiver, like it gets kind of.
I can see them picking up a wide receiver and pissing me off if it's a good one. You know what I mean?
Like Jerry Jeudy?
Nah, take him.
You don't want any trash?
Lock him up all day. Go ahead and take him. They're not going to trade within the division. We don't like doing that.
Yeah, I know that.
Someone said Devontae Adams. I'm like, nah, you're not going to get him because he's on the Raiders right now. We're not going to help someone to beat our tail during the season. That's not how the AFC West gets there. Off season, go ahead, do you. During the season, nah, we ain't trading with any of those teams with the AFC West. The Chiefs ain't giving us no players. We ain't giving them no players. Raiders ain't going. Broncos not even in this. They might, but no one's going to take their stuff.
That's the only reason I said the Broncos, because they look like they just ready to give it all up. They done, like, and it's 4 games in. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Russ ain't been playing bad, so I don't get all this. I just think it's funny to see Sean have to go through this. I'm like, bro, you better bow down to Drew Brees and realize what you had, because hey, Russ is the same height.
That's
what I mean.
It work out. I thought Sean Payton could, but really, it's not about Russ. It's the team.
Team.
It's not a great team.
Everybody talked about how good the defense was when they got Russ, and then they got dropped. 70 got dropped on them by Miami, and I'm like, what happened in a year?
That's when I was like, yeah, all that defense is out the window, bro. 70?
Yeah, now you got Russ that has to do it in his later age as a shorter quarterback. Drew Brees couldn't do it. Drew Brees in his prime got a Super Bowl, and after that, he got really, really close and just couldn't get over that hill, and they had tons of weapons around him.
Yeah,
okay,
it might be looking the same for Russ. Russ might not ever get back to that prime. It might be over for Russ.
He might go to someplace. I can see him going someplace else.
The problem is they paying him so much money they can't pay nobody.
His contract
is heavy, bro.
Send him to the Rams.
Hey, they'll take him. The Rams
they like old quarterbacks.
They like Stafford, they'll like a Russell Wilson, but
Arizona. Like, bro,
they might need him because I heard Kyler Murray might be out of there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's options for him. He's not playing like horribly. It's just he's not playing good enough for him to be the reason why they win. But we get sidetracked. We got them Chargers.
Yeah, bro.
Cowboys.
So, JD.
But are we playing y'all?
The game is, huh? We playing the Chargers. And I hope McCarthy talking about the Chargers this week and not what happened in the 49ers game. Because like you said, we don't want to do y'all no favors. Let's look at the scouting report and see what's in front of us. Ekeler's coming back. It's a big deal. I'm scared because he is for sure top 5, possibly top 3 running backs in the NFL. If you're talking about running and catching.
No, he's hard to bring down, man. He's the king of getting extra yards after first contact. Like, he's really, really hard to bring down. And we have tall enough linemen that by the time you see him, he's already on you. And if you don't have the right leverage, he's going to rip off, turn around, fall forward. He falls.
We just had trouble with a player very similar last week, McCaffrey. So I hope we fix some of the problems so that we can handle what's in front of us, Ekeler. But JD, I'm gonna ask you last question before we get out of here. Mm-hmm. What is your prediction for this game? Like, be real. Like, what is the score you got, and do you got your team coming out victorious? Tell me. Okay,
I'm saying 31-27 Chargers.
I hate you so.
I feel like that. I feel like the defense is thinking about last week too much to not get caught by a Kellen Moore that wants revenge.
Okay,
y'all kicked them out the door. We about to be indoors inside the SoFi with the only people that seem to have good field. And we're going to be going against a team that still got their mind in last week, going against a guy that's mad that he got fired. That's the main reason why I'm picking that score, 31-27. And I feel like it's going to start out with the running game. And if that running game with Austin Ekeler gets going, the play action is going to be right there, and that's going to work. When it comes to you guys, how I feel you're going to be getting your points, I feel like they've heard the chatter about CeeDee Lamb, and I can see him burning us on a couple of them. You know what I mean? Because Asante Samuel can't cover everybody, and even he gets burned sometimes. We got rid of J.C. Jackson. Thank God we sent him back to the Patriots.
Wait, so he wasn't working out?
Nah, bro, he was getting burned or hurt. That was all that was happening. He was getting roasted. He had a penalty. We could have won the game against Miami, but he was just doing stupid penalties. Like, he caught the interception, ran it out the end zone, and then went out at the 5-yard line, and that's what put us in that bad position for Justin. We gave the game away, and he was the main reason, and then we sent him back to New England. We're like, fuck it, we don't need y'all. No.
And also, before I get to my prediction, how's Derwin James? We didn't even touch on Derwin James.
He's just been hurt.
He's been hurt. Has he even played?
Since week 1, he's been hurt.
Oh, shoot. Is he back?
He's back. He must be back. Full practice this week. Joey Bosa. The only people that were questionable was Joey Bosa and I think Lindsey. And we need Lindsey, too, because he's our center. He's the one that snaps the ball, and Justin Herbert has a broken finger. So that's very big. I don't want any fumbles of the snap. See, I'm looking at all this. I'm like, they said, Mike, they called you.
You should have told. We should have had this episode before, so I could call McCarthy and let him know. We got to talk in the middle. We got to get.
Nah, you're not messing with Michael Jackson Herbert. They said he got a white glove to shiny. Yeah, it's taken care of, man. He broke his finger at the perfect time, right before a bye week. And think about it, he got an extra day because it's Monday, so I feel like he's gonna be straight.
And you guys did get rested up. That's very essential in all your players coming back. So fun.
Is anybody injured? Before we go to, I want to ask, anybody injured on your side? I never checked your injury report.
We lost our middle linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch, last week. And it's the same thing that always gets him. He has a neck problem. He's on IR. We lost him for good, like probably for the rest of the year. So, but he's one of those players where I kind of been waiting to see if anybody step up, a young Duke step up and take his spot, because he's good, but he's not great. He's better in coverage than he is at coming up and filling. You know what I mean? He's more of side to sideline, but he's not like aggressive down.
But that would be the guy you need to stop someone like
I know. That's why I didn't even want to say the injury right now, because that could really hurt us if our guys aren't ready. But JD, for all the reasons that you said the Chargers are going to win, I think the Cowboys as a team, because of that butt kicking, I think the defense is going to be super dialed in. I think Micah wants to get at Herbert. I think he wants to rebound. A lot of these defensive players want to rebound.
Where's he lined up at? Does he go side to side?
That's the thing. The best thing we might have to do is take him off the line, because we got a lot of rushers. But like certain situations, not third down, but first and second, we might have to have him playing linebacker to support for the run. You know what I mean?
If y'all try to rush on that left side, you ain't going to get him. You know who's over there.
Oh, Slater, Mr. Slater? Mr. Rashad Slater?
You know how many sacks he's given up in the last 2 years?
0? No, he's a Pro Bowler. I like that.
No, bro, he's a problem. Like, hey, they said one of the, I can't remember what lineman was, a dude that left from last year, and he said that he was helping out on I can't remember who it was. One of the Myles Garrett was coming at him, and Myles Garrett got 0 sacks. And the dude next to him was like, "Hey," he told him, "Hey, quit helping. I want him by himself." That's what our third-year player said.
Slater's
You know
a
what I
dog.
mean?
Slater's a dog, but what I want to
But
say,
he can't be everywhere. So I said if he's on the left
that's what I'm
side,
saying. Like, we have plenty of rushers, like DeMarcus Lawrence. We got a couple young cats. We got Fowler. Dante Fowler's playing good this year as the backup. But what I want to say is I think that our defense will. I don't know what to say about the offense really. Like you said, I think we're gonna try to accommodate CeeDee Lamb and Cooks. I don't know if I want to though. I think I just want the defense to do the work, and I think there will be a couple early turnovers by Mr. Herbert himself. This is my prediction. And I think the game will
he's
be.
one pick the whole year so far.
Hey, he ain't played the Cowboys yet, JD. He ain't played the Cowboys. I gotta talk about. I gotta give. Okay, so listen, it'll be a lower scoring game it'll be close to me, but I think we will win 24-21. We will win
421.
and I think it'll be a lot like I said. I think we got to get up, and we'll get up 12, 14 to 3 by halftime.
14-3
I think
by halftime.
I'm telling you, this is
we
what
fall apart at the end. At the beginning, we come out hot.
Hey, any given Sunday, your boy Herbert can get the business. Micah gonna creep up.
But it's Monday, Tony. And we bolting up in LA over there, baby. You better.
But it's Monday.
They better stop slipping. Everybody,
I like that. Hey, that was quick, Jay.
Everybody gets compared to Herbert, no matter what they doing. Whether it's Patrick Mahomes, whether it's Brock Purdy, whether it's Dak Prescott, Herbert is the benchmark because that boy is different. I'm tired of hiding it. People talk so much shit about him because he's good.
2-2, Herbert. Let's see what you got. Let's see what you got, baby. Let's see.
Hey, he's the kind of person that will actually go for 150 yards if it means we win the game. You know what I mean?
Yep, absolutely. No, and this is all. We're both big fans for our teams, and I need to win just as much as you do. I need this. My only issue is Austin. I don't know if we have the right defense for Austin Ekeler, especially with our starting middle linebacker out.
There's nobody that could really cover him one-on-one. That's a linebacker. There's not anybody fast enough. Yes. The way that he gets stopped is by gang. How do you say pursuit? Yeah, you gotta fill the lanes and then collapse on each other. That's how you get to him. But if you get him in a situation where it's one-on-one, the dude's a magician. I've seen dudes fully have him tackled and he'll just squirm out. He's like Darren Sproles if he was a couple inches taller and way thicker. Like, it's weird, bro. Like, he has that speed, but he's hard to tackle, and he gets really, really low, and he keeps driving. Your defense is known for putting people in the ground. Yep. So we're going to have to see. Like, he's had bad games.
So despite what we saw last week, we'll stop talking about the 49ers, but the Cowboys still, to me, have a top 5 defense. I think I think they can only do so much because our offense is very questionable right now. Like, it's our offense that's killing us right now. So if our defense can deliver the first couple drives and put us in good field position via a couple.
So, okay, I know you said you don't want to go back to last week. You said you don't want to go back to last week, but do you think that they got gutted by the 49ers on defense because of the situation of the offense, or because when it rains it pours? Like, they started looking around and started.
A lot of that. And it's the 49ers. I hate talking about them so much, but we have an issue. It's documented. We have an issue with them. So I think once the first couple drives happen and we get a couple 3-and-outs, the defense had doubts. You know what I mean? Like you said, when it rains, it pours. I don't think it'll be the same. No disrespect, I don't think we're as scared of Khalil Mack and Joey as we are of like Fred Warner and Nick Bosa.
And I love that because y'all don't really see it coming.
But I think the defense needs that, though. I think our defense and the offense needs that. Like, we don't need to be we don't need to be intimidated. Like, I think we're good when everything's riding high. We need to be riding high. How about them Cowboys? That's what we need. We don't need to be scared pissing down our leg because we got bullies.
I'm telling you right now, there ain't going to be a lot of Charger fans in the stadium. But all of us at home are be sitting there talking about the skies are clear, but all I see is thunder and lightning all over this TV, just shocking these motherfuckers. I'm telling you, bro, because the defense that we saw against the Raiders, that was what I was expecting. It was a lower scoring game than everybody was predicting, and the defense keeps saving us. Stanley puts them in horrible positions.
With Joey coming back and Derwin James coming back, it should be interesting. I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing y'all getting a bunch of players back after a week of rest. Like
the only thing I'm worried about is like the same thing with like the Lakers and other teams that have players that are hurt and come back. You might not have the flow that you're supposed to have,
and that's
that everybody else is on.
That's why I'm hitting that maybe a couple fumbles, maybe an interception here.
If I was gonna call a fumble for the Chargers, it's gonna be at the line due to Herbert's finger. If we have, but that's if Lindsey's not playing. Lindsey and him, your center and your quarterback got to be.
And he's a game time decision. Lindsey's a game time decision or something, or what?
The report said that him and Bosa were upgraded to questionable from doubtful. So one of our safeties isn't playing, and I know I can't remember who else isn't playing, but a long list of people are coming back because of the bye week. You know, that's how it happens. You get more healthy during the bye week. So it's going to be a lot of people that haven't played in a while. I want to see how they fill in and if it makes it better or if it makes it who didn't know where to go, because we are one of those teams that get lost sometimes.
The storyline for this game is what you watch football for. Kellen Moore gets to play the team that let him go, but he kind of wanted to go, honestly.
No,
the Cowboys get to rebound. Chargers are flying under the radar. Not much talked about, so we could crap the bet again. The Cowboys could crap the bet again, but we will see. We will see in like 2.5 hours, JD.
I'll be live updated. If I post something to tag the Faithful Fan Show, you better post it, man. Because I'm talking live reaction.
Hey, no, live reaction. I totally got you. I can't wait. JD, anything to say to the fans before we get out of here? I appreciate your insight. Thank you for Lindsey's.
God bless y'all. Keep your mental straight, man. If you got a problem, go talk to somebody. Feel good about it. There's always somebody that's there to help you. As long as you reach out, don't keep that shit in. That's the most serious you'll ever see me be. Anyways, Cowboys suck. We gonna beat that ass.
All right. Hey, what I say? Couple turnovers in the first half for Herbert. Let's go.
It's funny coming from someone that has to. That's funny coming from someone that has to depend on Dak.
Until next time on the Faithful Fan Show, y'all. Hey,
Rookie in the paint, going hard with the venom. Shot so much, man, I think I need a lay. I need a lay in the paint, going hard with the venom. I need a lay so much, man, I think I need a lay. Animal, MC Cannibal, rap Hannibal. Here to change the game, mainframe, all y'all programmable. Coaching on tracks, balling like a paper like Phil. I'm Morpheus and real, my rhymes convict and heal. A world blind, my lines a red pill, real. Ball like I've been here, rookie in his prime. Focus like Jordan the second time. Kobe in playoff times, you know believe when I drop. Call for it, Kalinko in the Blizo spit. Auto like free throws by Ito. Jerk the loose stroke magic. Rhymes over all y'all like dirt for two. Rookie in the game.